Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. So I got a real estate question for you today. And I also have a creaky chair. Okay. So anyway, for those of you that are interested in real estate investment, you can check out the series of real estate videos that I've done here. And I also actually recorded a real estate course today, which I'm not quite putting out yet. This is sort of going into a bonus bundle for a promotion that I'm doing. But if you are interested, leave a comment and a thumbs up and let me know, and I'll see if I can work this out. Eventually, this is sort of raw. I didn't intend to put this together as a product, but it came out pretty well, I think. So anyway, let's get into the email here. So this email is from Nathan, and he says, "Hi, John, longtime follower of Get Up and Code and Entre Programmers. I started following your stuff right when I started programming, and I have gone ahead with many of your book recommendations, even read Soft Skills." All right, so if you want to read Soft Skills, go check it out. You can click the link there and check out Soft Skills. And if you're on a mobile device, it'll be below in the description. So, anyway, he says, for self-help and most recently real estate, I've been starting to throw some ideas around in my head of what goal I may have for getting into real estate and wondering if you could shed any light on my plan. I purchased a condo back in late 2013 at a decent price. Prices around me haven't moved since I bought, and I'm trying to heavily pay down with extra principal, currently $600, to pay it off as quick as possible. I have a $300 contributing to my 401k currently, and I actually just stopped contributing, and I'm going to add that $300 onto my principal. All right, that's cool. Check out the video I did on why I think that's a good idea, because so many people don't understand, to go down one path for investing or for retirement, and so it's good. I don't like that of splitting between 401k and real estate, to be honest. So you can check out the video if you're interested. But anyway, he says, let's see. So my goal is to get the condo paid off in 4 years. From reading the book Millionaire Real Estate Investor. That's the only book on real estate so far that I've recommended, because it's the only one I trust. There's a lot of crap out there, so you can check that book out. The author talked about a plan of a person who started with one paid off home and didn't buy another home until the previous one purchase was paid off. I'd like to go this route and have come together with a 20-year plan so that by the time I'm 50, I'll have at least $40K in cash flow to live off of. So I think he means $40K a month, which is pretty cool. That's a good plan. I'm confident that I would do well in real estate, as I already have my father who could help with the connections or of repairs or improvements to the homes, as well as just inspecting them just before purchase. My father is currently working full-time doing carpentry, and he's done it his whole life. He wants to start flipping homes, so it could be a great time for us to work together to be as successful as we can be. I know this is a vague description of my overall plan. I'm sure things change over time, but what do you think about it? Anything to keep in mind? I'm going to continue to read about real estate investing. So are there any books you would recommend? Thanks if you're able to respond and help me out. Thank you for all the free content you have spent time to publish and podcasts on the internet so far. It's really helped me out in my life. Cool. Nathan, thanks for that email. Thanks for the big wall of text, by the way. Have you ever heard of a paragraph? I'm just teasing you, but yeah, but it is a wall of text, but I did read it. So anyway, good question. You got a lot of, first of all, I just want to commend you on, picking up a book and actually doing something. This is when I was recording the real estate course today, one of the biggest complaints I had is like, people hear this, they know it, and they don't take action. It takes guts. It takes guts to go and buy a property and to come up with this plan. So, it's cool that you're executing on this, that you're going to pay off this condo, and you've got big plans, and you've read The Millionaire Real Estate Investor, and I think that's a really good book, because it does show you what you can actually do realistically with real estate. I think everyone who's interested in real estate should read that book. I'll put a link there again, just so you can check it out. I get like a quarter if you buy the book, so I don't have any interest in, vested interest in the book itself, but I just think it's a good book. So I'll actually answer that question first, which you said, are there any books you would recommend? No, just that one. And I'll tell you why, because there's a lot of dumb ideas and scam artists and crazy crap out there, right? I mean, you can buy real estate no money down, and you can, go knocking door to door and buy foreclosed homes, and bargain equity. I've read hundreds of real estate books, right? Most of them are like nuts. They're just, yeah, it could work, but they're not practical. It doesn't make much sense. So there's a few good ones out there. The only one that I really said was great was The Millionaire Real Estate Investor. But yeah, so I just don't have good ones to recommend. I'm sorry. I haven't read real estate books in a while. Just because I got so fed up with them after I read so many of them. When I was first getting started, my obsession was reading real estate books, and I read a ton of them then. But it's funny, after all that, that's all I have to recommend. But so let's talk about your plan here. So let's see, what you said here. Okay, what do I think about your plan? Anything to keep in mind? So here's the thing. Okay, I've got a few ideas. I like your overall plan. I like the idea of going and buying one house, paying it off, and then buying another house. I think that's a very safe and secure way to do it. And I think that you're right. What did you say? In 20 years, by the time you're 50, you'll have 40K in cash flow. I believe that is legit, and you can do that as long as you keep down that path. Now, there's a couple of things I'm going to caution you on. Okay, so that plan is great. Stick with that plan, accelerate that plan, whatever. The flipping of houses, I don't like. And I'll tell you why. There's a couple of reasons why. One, it's always harder than it appears. And two, that's not really real estate investment. It's just straight up work, right? If you do make money flipping houses, right, which every single person that I have known that has tried to flip a house has gotten screwed. Just saying, right? There's probably a learning curve there, and there's some market timing. And if the market moves against you strongly, which it can, right? If interest rates go up here in the next year or so, and you get caught with your pants down, you bought a property, you're fixing it up, and suddenly the price drops, that's going to hurt. That 20-year plan that you've got, that's gone now. So it's putting a risk, right? And what are you really going to make? I mean, you flip a house and you make maybe I don't know, like 20K or so, or I don't know, maybe you start flipping really expensive houses, which you need a lot of money, or you need a hard money lender to lend you money, right? And then you make like a 40K, 50K, but you're splitting it with your dad who's doing the work on it, so you got to pay him labor, or I don't know. It's like that. I just don't like that idea. I just don't like flipping. It feels like to me like the work that you're going to put into it. You might as well, like, you're a software developer, right? Learn how to bill like $150 an hour as a software developer, which any software developer can do, right? I know that some of you are like, "What? Are you serious?" No, seriously. I was billing $300 an hour. I know someone can bill 150. If they, especially, I'll plug my How to Market Yourself as a Software Developer course. I don't think I've plugged that in a while, but you can check that out, and that will show you how to bill $150 an hour. If you follow that advice. But figure that out, and then if you're going to make money, do it that way. That's a more efficient way, right? You're going to make more money billing out at $150 an hour or getting a really high software development job than you will flipping houses, like fixing up houses. That you're not going to get anywhere close to $150 an hour for the time that you put into it, probably, right? So and that has no risk, whereas flipping has a risk. So I don't like the idea of flipping. To me, that's a speculative move. It just happens to be in real estate, but it's really just doing work. I mean, flip cars, right? Like, there's no difference. So, I don't think that's connected with your investing plan. I don't consider that to be investing at all. The second thing I would caution you is working with your dad. I know this sounds like a good idea, like, the whole, like, we'll be buddies, we'll be partners, but that's just like, don't try not to go into business with friends or family, even if they're your dad. And there are some exceptions to this rule if you've worked with someone before and but like it's a fantasy that probably won't work out. There's probably going to be problems. Like, you're the person who's being educated on this, right? You're the one who's reading these books and learning about real estate investment, right? But your dad is your dad, right? So he's supposed to be the wise one and teaching. And he's been doing carpentry for 20 years, right? So guess what happens when you have a disagreement? He's going to be like, I am the patriarch. Who are you? You are just my son. I know what I'm talking about. What, you think you're you smart little punk, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to work out good for you. I mean, even if you have a good relationship, I feel like that could sour the relationship. I would just avoid that situation. It doesn't feel comfortable. And then, what are you gonna split the pay with them? And what if it just, don't do that. Partnerships are difficult as they are, but between family members, especially between the father and son, I don't think that will work out. Maybe if you want to do your own separate things and you each have a house and you're helping each other or something like that, if you're gonna flip houses, I'd rather see you do that than to go into business together, because that's just, it doesn't seem like a good idea. But so I would just leave that whole part of the equation off of it. I like your original plan. I like the idea of you being a software developer, making a lot of money, taking that money, putting it into this plan, and in 20 years you're on your yacht or whatever. You know what I mean? You're retired and you're having fun, and that's a solid plan. And there's not a whole lot that can go wrong there. Whereas you go down the flipping road, you go down the road with going into business with your pop, I don't know, just you're going to throw a wrench potentially into what could be a good plan. So I hope that helps you. Hope that you'll at least consider this advice. I could be wrong here. It could all work out, right? You could flip houses, make millions of bucks, and you and your dad are like, sailing around the world in your yacht and whatever. But I don't know. This just is my opinion. So you asked for it. So if you have a question for me about real estate, specifically, email me at john@simpleprogrammer.com, and I will try to get to it. I don't do too many of these real estate ones, but obviously real estate is a passion of mine. I've been doing it for 15 years. So I'd be happy to answer a question. And if you want to support the channel, if you want to get in a Facebook group that of other developers that are like-minded, investors, want to do stuff with their career, check out the Patreon page, and you can support with a $5 pledge. You can get into the Facebook channel. There's a whole bunch of other cool rewards and stuff, like a signed copy of Soft Skills and all kinds of cool stuff. So anyway, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.